Hello students, welcome back. In the last session we were discussing about website and web application. In that we have discussed what is website, and in today's session we will continue our discussion of website and web application. So in the last session we have seen what is website. So a website is simply a collection of web pages that contain images, text, video, audio, etc. A website may contain a single or any number of pages. Websites are generally static, means the content doesn't update dynamically. Every time we visit the website, the content remains almost same. Websites are generally built by using HTML, CSS and maybe some JavaScript. Websites are one-way informational feeds. They do not allow viewers to interact or communicate back to the sites. So we have studied that websites is one-way informational feed, means user can only read the content, but user cannot communicate back to the website. Some of the example websites like blogs, news, college web portal, etc. Today we'll continue our discussion of website and web application. Let's start. Web application. So what is a web application? So web applications are also websites with functionality and interactive elements. So all the web applications are in turn websites, but all websites are not web applications. Remember this. Some examples of web applications are Gmail, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. All are web apps that are dynamic and built for user engagement. All those Gmail, Facebook, YouTube which you frequently use today are all web apps or web applications which are dynamically built for user engagement. So the content on these web applications are updated frequently or dynamically. You can take example of Facebook itself. You see so many messages appear on the Facebook, and the list updates frequently in fractions of seconds. Every time you visit, you get different information on the screen. That is why it is called as a web application. Web application is a computer software accessed through a web browser, often connected to a database to provide an interactive experience specific to individual using it. Web applications are computer softwares. We know about the desktop applications, or we call standalone applications, which are installed on our computer. For example, you can take an example of MS Office, which you install on your computer. That is a desktop application or a standalone application. To use MS Office, you need to install it and you can use it. Even a web application, it is a software, but this software is not installed on the client machine or our machine, but this software needs to be installed on a server machine. So server computer, it is a special computer with special capabilities, and we have to install this web application on the server machine. Whereas desktop applications are installed on our machine where we can use it, means a single user at a time can use it. But in case of this web application where multiple users are connected to the server and they can use this web application simultaneously. Often those web applications are connected to database, so it contains a database as well on the server to which these applications are connected, so that they can update the information on the web pages. They can view, they can get information from the database, and it can be displayed frequently on the web pages. Web apps are extremely customizable and can perform a wide range of functionality. They are generally more difficult to build and require an experienced team of software developers. Web apps are extremely customizable. We can customize the websites and these can perform wide range of functionalities, and that is the reason these are very difficult to build, and we require a team of software developers, experienced software developers, to develop a web application compared to the websites which are simple, static in nature, which are easy to develop, but web applications are very complex in functionality. Some of the examples which we have already seen, like Gmail, Facebook, these are all web applications. Apart from this, we have many other web applications. I gave you a desktop application example, that is MS Office, which needs to be installed on your computer and you can use it. But there is one more version of this MS Office which is a web application, means it can be used over the internet, that is Office 360. You can search on the internet Office 360, where you can use this MS Office on the internet, means no need to install it on your computer, you only need to have an internet connection and you can use a MS Office, and that is a web application. You might have seen many editing softwares today, like photo editing, online editing softwares. All these are web applications which allows you to upload a photo and you can edit the photo as well. So that is a web application. Okay, so this is about web application. This image also explains you about web application. This shows you a web application may include a graph, text, images, and many other things, like it may include forms like login pages, authentication forms, or it may take some details from the user has to enter some details, means user is some way interacting with the web application. There is user interaction in web application, but there is no such interaction in case of websites. Even a web application may use a payment gateway and email service it may provide. So that is a web application. Let us go through the difference between web application and website. So there are a few important differences between web application and websites. The first is web application is designed for interaction with end users. Websites basically contain static content. This generally mean in web application user interacts with the application. In websites, as it is static, content doesn't change, so there is very less interaction of a user with a website. The user of web application can read content of web application and also manipulate the data. In web application, the data can be changed, and that is the reason user can read as well as manipulate the data. In websites, the user of the website can only read the content of the website, but the data cannot be manipulated. The web application site should be pre-compiled before deployment. Web applications are generally developed by using server-side programming languages or scripting languages, and these languages needs to be compiled before using it, and that is the reason we need to pre-compile the web applications. In case of website, no such languages are used to develop websites. Generally HTML is used, and for HTML there is no compilation is required for HTML. The function of web application is quite complex, and function of website it is simple. Web application is interactive for users, websites are not interactive. As I've said, user can interact with the web application. In case of website, there is no such interaction of user with the website. Website generally are informative, means it only provides information. You can read information on the website, like you may have a website which gives you online reading website, or a online book website, where you can only read the content. Okay, the browser capabilities involved with the web application is high, and browser capabilities involved with website it is low. Actually it is low, by mistake it is high. The capabilities of browser are high in case of web application, because there is more user interaction and there is less interaction in the websites. Integration is complex for web application, and integration is simple for websites. Then web applications mostly require authentication. In websites, authentication is not necessary. in most of the web application authentication is required. You can see we have given some examples like YouTube, Facebook, Gmail. If you look at all of this web application, you need to authenticate, means you need to log in first. You need to provide username and password, then only you can use it. To use a Facebook, you need to log in. To use a Gmail, you need to log in. So web application generally requires authentication of a user. In websites, there is no such authentication required. To access a college website, there is no need to use a username and password for it. You can simply go to college website by typing its URL and you can view the information which is presented there. Okay, so this is about the difference between web application and a website. I hope you understood what is web application and website. Now with this we will stop here. Thank you.